That's the actual thing that is happening in Jabo town now. So we're gonna bomb going to Naija.
Hello everyone, welcome to Naija Media Connect, your trusted source for in-depth analysis, verified reporting, and stories shaping Nigeria and the world. Before we begin, subscribe to Naija Media Connect, turn on notifications, and stay informed with facts, not fear. Tonight, we examine a claim that has shocked Nigeria, Africa, and the global community. The United States allegedly carrying out airstrikes inside Nigerian territory on Christmas Day, following an announcement by U.S. President Donald Trump. The unimaginable has happened, or so it seems. Late Thursday night on Christmas Day, United States President Donald J. Trump took to social media with a statement that instantly sent shockwaves across continents. In his post, Trump claimed that the United States military had launched powerful and deadly airstrikes in northwest Nigeria, targeting what he described as ISIS terrorist scum. According to Trump, the operation was carried out to prevent the slaughter of Christians, and he credited the mission to what he referred to as the U.S. Department of War. That phrase alone, Department of War, immediately raised eyebrows. The United States officially operates a Department of Defense, not a Department of War, a distinction that has existed since 1949. Yet the message was clear. Trump was claiming direct U.S. military action on Nigerian soil. No qualifiers, no ambiguity, no mention of Nigerian approval. And that is where the global alarm bells began to ring. The timing of Trump's announcement cannot be ignored. Christmas Day, a day sacred to Christians worldwide. By choosing this date, Trump framed the alleged operation not just as a military strike, but as a symbolic act of protection, a message to his political base and to global Christian communities, saving Christians from slaughter. Those words were deliberate, powerful, and deeply political. But symbolism does not replace sovereignty, and this is where the controversy deepens. Under international law, no country has the right to conduct military operations inside another sovereign nation without consent, except under extremely limited circumstances. Nigeria is a sovereign state. Any foreign military action on its soil without approval would constitute a grave breach of sovereignty, regardless of intention. Even counter-terrorism operations require formal agreements, intelligence sharing, and joint command structures. As of now, none of that has been publicly acknowledged, which leads to two uncomfortable possibilities. Either the operation did not happen as described, or it happened quietly and Nigerians were not told. Perhaps the loudest sound in this unfolding story is silence. No emergency address from Abuja, No press briefing from Defense Headquarters, no confirmation from U.S. Africa Command, no satellite imagery released, no casualty figures verified. In modern warfare, silence is unusual. In modern politics, silence is strategic. And silence often means something is still unfolding behind closed doors. Then came a reaction that intensified national debate. Renowned Islamic scholar Sheikh Ahmad Gumi finally responded to reports of U.S. military strikes inside Nigeria. And his message was not celebratory, it was a warning. Sheikh Gumi cautioned that foreign military involvement could fracture Nigeria, escalate violence, and transform the country into a proxy battleground for global powers. He warned that external intervention, no matter how well packaged, often creates new enemies faster than it destroys old ones. His words reignited old fears of Libya, Iraq, Afghanistan, nations where foreign intervention promised salvation but delivered chaos. To understand the gravity of these claims, we must step back and examine the long-standing but carefully managed military relationship between Nigeria and the United States. For decades, the U.S. has supported Nigeria through intelligence sharing, military training programs, equipment sales, and advisory missions. But one thing has remained consistent. The United States has never openly conducted unilateral airstrikes inside Nigeria. Even at the height of Boko Haram's terror, when entire towns were overrun and thousands abducted, the U.S. stopped short of direct combat intervention. Instead, Washington maintained a policy of support, not substitution. Which is why Trump's claim, if accurate, would represent a historic rupture in established protocol. It would signal a shift from partnership to direct action, and that shift changes everything. In any U.S. military operation on the African continent, one command is central: U.S. Africa Command, AFRICOM. AFRICOM oversees all American military activities across Africa, including counter-terrorism operations. Yet, as of this report, AFRICOM has issued no press statement, no confirmation of air operations in Nigeria, no acknowledgement of strikes in Sokoto, no operational details released. This absence is critical because AFRICOM routinely publicizes even minor operations, especially when civilian harm allegations might arise. The absence fuels speculation that Trump's statement may be political messaging rather than operational reality. But speculation cuts both ways because covert operations by design are not announced, and that uncertainty is what keeps Nigerians asking questions. Within hours of Trump's post, global media fractured into two camps. One camp amplified the story with headlines declaring U.S. bombs Nigeria, America strikes terrorists in Africa, Trump saves Christians in Nigeria. The other camp urged caution, emphasizing lack of official confirmation, absence of independent verification, political motivations behind the language used. In the age of social media, narratives travel faster than facts, and once fear spreads, damage can occur, even if the story later proves exaggerated or false. This is why responsible journalism matters now more than ever. One of the most sensitive aspects of Trump's claim is how he frames the conflict as a religious war. By stating the strikes were meant to save Christians, the narrative risks deepening religious fault lines in an already fragile nation. Nigeria's security crisis is complex. Criminal banditry, resource competition, governance failures, extremist infiltration. Reducing it to a Christian versus Muslim conflict oversimplifies reality, and dangerously so. Security experts warn that such framing can radicalize local actors, justify retaliatory violence, undermine community trust, turn criminals into ideological fighters. Words in this context can be as destructive as bombs. Sheikh Ahmad Gumi's response was not just a reaction, it was a strategic warning. He cautioned that foreign intervention often weakens national authority, creates dependency, fuels internal division, attracts external enemies. He warned that Nigeria risks becoming a theater for proxy conflicts, where global powers pursue interests under the banner of security or humanitarianism. Critics of Gumi may disagree with his methods or past positions, but his warning echoes lessons from history, lessons written in blood across the Middle East and beyond. Let us consider the most serious scenario. If U.S. airstrikes did occur inside Nigeria without public disclosure, the implications are profound. It would suggest a breakdown in transparent governance, possible secret security agreement, loss of public trust, precedent for future interventions. It would raise questions about who authorized it, under what terms, who controls Nigerian airspace, and who answers to Nigerians. Silence in this case becomes a democratic problem. Now, consider the alternative. What if the operation did not happen or was exaggerated? Then Trump's statement becomes a political performance designed to project strength, appeal to religious voters, shape global narratives, assert influence beyond office. If so, Nigeria becomes a prop in international political theater. And that too is dangerous because false claims can provoke real consequences, from panic to retaliation. Across Nigeria, reactions have been mixed and intense. Some Nigerians welcome any force that promises relief from terror. Others see the claim as an insult to national dignity. On social media, questions dominate. Did our government approve this? Are we still in control of our country? Who is telling the truth? In moments like this, clarity is not optional, it is essential. At the heart of this controversy lies international law. Under the United Nations Charter, the use of force inside another country is prohibited unless the host nation gives explicit consent, or there is an imminent self-defense threat, or the action is authorized by the UN Security Council. Nigeria has issued no public consent. The UN has issued no authorization, which means any confirmed unilateral strike would raise serious legal questions, not just for the United States, but for Nigeria's standing in global diplomacy. Sovereignty is not symbolic, it is the foundation of statehood. Security analysts warn that even one unchallenged foreign strike sets a precedent. Today it is the United States, tomorrow it could be another power. Once airspace sovereignty is compromised, it becomes harder to defend, diplomatically and militarily. Nigeria risks being viewed not as a partner, but as a permissive battlefield. That perception alone can attract further instability. Lost in political arguments and online debates are civilians, the people who actually live in these regions. Airstrikes, even precision ones, carry risks: civilian casualties, displacement, trauma, and retaliatory violence. As of now, there are no verified reports of civilian harm, but without transparency, communities remain anxious, unsure of what happened or what might happen next. Security without accountability breeds fear. This is the moment when leadership communication matters most. Silence creates space for rumors, disinformation, ethnic suspicion, religious tension. A simple briefing could calm the nation. A clear statement could restore trust. A denial or confirmation could reset the narrative. Without it, uncertainty becomes the enemy. Nigeria has spent decades battling insurgency. Our soldiers have paid the price. Our communities have endured loss. Our nation understands this war better than any outsider. The fight against terror must be Nigerian-led, supported, not replaced by foreign allies. Anything else risks undermining morale, legitimacy, and national pride. This is also a test for the media. Journalists must resist panic headlines. Broadcasters must separate claims from facts. Content creators must prioritize truth over clicks, because once misinformation spreads, correction rarely travels as far. At this moment, Nigerians deserve answers, not speculation, not political spin, but clarity. Citizens should demand official confirmation or denial, transparent security briefings, respect for national sovereignty, honest communication. A democracy survives on informed citizens, not silence. This story is not just about Trump, not just about airstrikes, not just about Sokoto. It is about who controls the narrative of Nigeria's security. It is about who speaks for the nation. And it is about how power is exercised in an age of instant global influence. Whether the strikes happened or not, damage has already been done to trust, perception, and stability. Nigeria now stands at a crossroads, between transparency and silence, between sovereignty and dependency, between facts and fear. How leaders respond next will shape not just this moment, but future ones. This has been a detailed analysis of a story still unfolding, one that touches on security, sovereignty, faith, and truth. If you value fact-based reporting, clear analysis, and responsible journalism, please like this video, share it with others, subscribe to Naija Media Connect, and comment below. What do you think really happened?